Hello everybody and welcome to the channel, and today's video is on the most recent news coming from Marvel Studios and the leaks coming from Daniel RPK, and this video will be about Spider-Man 4, and I would say it's confusing production and it's confusing just how it's just not being what the fans want, and how it needs to change for the better. And what I would say is that we all thought that when Kevin Feige said this
street level heroes,
that it would actually mean that he would be a street level hero and not just more of the same, of just a cosmic storyline every single time. Now, all of us fans would agree that we want a Spider-Man story set in New York City, being a street level story and not a multiverse one. And we would hope that Sony changes this for the better, so Tom Holland Spider-Man will have a good set street level story and a recognizable story from comics. My problem with this is that we were told by Kevin Feige, like I said earlier, that he's a street level character like Daredevil. Specifically, he says like Daredevil, which entails that potentially he might pop up in the TV series. I wouldn't say so due to rights, but I would say is that hopefully eventually there'll be an interaction with these two characters. However, what I potentially am worried about is that with Sony coming in and saying, no, this is a multiverse story, this will change and now we won't get that. Now that is the reason, that's the problem. I think the problem is Sony, and I hope this doesn't fault for the story, and I really do hope that we get new characters and we don't have to go back to the same characters that we've had in the past 3 films. What I would also say is that this trilogy so far is still very good. There's no denying that this is still a good trilogy. I just think that we need a new Spider-Man story, and I just don't think we're getting that from Sony. And I think this should change for the better. And I think, hopefully, depending on when this film releases, it will either be a street level story or Sony will get what they want, which is a multiverse story. And if they do that, if they do get that, you know, we'll have to live with it. But I would hope that if we don't get it now, when will we get it? That's the question to ask. If we don't get it now, when will we get it? And if we don't get it after this saga ends, we will never get that, because the character will change. It's not the actor will change. I think the whole character will change to Miles Morales or a different version of Peter Parker in which Tom Holland will be playing it, because he's, 25 now? 26, 27? He's getting on a bit. So we need that film to be pumped out soon, or the company is stuffed. And that's why they want this film out as soon as possible. Sony and Marvel clearly are at odds with each other when it comes to this film. They both have problems with this character. Sony wants a multiverse story, whilst Marvel wants a street level story. I'm more lenient to the street level story, as we haven't got that from this character yet in the cinematic universe. But we've had that before. We've had the multiverse story before. We had the film a couple years ago, which now fans have said that this is amazing. And now it's like, oh, this film has flaws. This film isn't as good as people say it is. I think this film is still really good. I say it's about it's like a 7 out of 10. It's not 10 out of 10 like people were saying. I don't understand what people said it was that. And it's not like the crap that people say it is now, because they want to be different with the 4 out of 10. Now, it's not 4 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. It's not as bad as people say it is. I don't understand why people say it's bad. It's all good, but I just think that a street level story would be better for the character. And I just, come on. We've had 3 of these now. Well, Homecoming was more of a school one, which was really good. Far From Home was like, we're in Europe now. And then the Multiverse one, we need a street level one. We need a proper street level one. And I really do hope we get it. But I don't think we will, after this report coming from Daniel RPK saying that anything between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will be a multiverse story unless it's a prequel. So it will be set on Battleworld, which is in the Secret Wars comics, where all the universes are on one singular Earth. It'll be all on Battleworld. That means that it will be a multiverse story. So definitely Sony will get in Toby Maguire, probably. And they'll probably get in Andrew Garfield as well, and they'll get them all to meet up, and it'll be all that because they're in the same bloody Earth. And what I would say is that I bet they're purposely doing it, intricately detailing it, so they can slot it right into the release date between those 2 films, just so they can get them both in. Which I think is wrong, and I think they shouldn't be doing this. And I hope that maybe it won't release next year. There hasn't got a director to the project, we don't know the writers, we don't know anything about the plot. So it won't release next year. I hope that it released before Avengers Doomsday, unless it's a Battleworld story. And if Daniel RPK is right with this tweet, it suggests that everything will be on Doomsday unless it's a prequel, which it would be weird, to say the least. I don't know how to put it. It'd just be disappointing because we were expecting it after what they were saying. But because it's, you get so much money from this film, you want to do it again, really, but it won't be as good, will it? Because you've already done it before. It won't serve the same purpose. It won't feel the same. If you get what I mean, it just won't be the same as it was. If you I don't know about this, But what I would say is that it would still be nice seeing Toby and Andrew in the film, but what I would say is that you'd want them to be in Secret Wars. You want them to be in Avengers Doomsday, not this film. You want them to be in the massive team-up film where they get to interact with Hugh Jackman Wolverine or Deadpool or something like that. Not Spider-Man again. But it'll still be really good because they will, I'm sure these 2 actors will be in Secret Wars, but it doesn't mean that it will be great. It doesn't mean that they should be in Spider-Man 4, as I think it just should be a sole story dedicated to this Peter Parker, not have more of a story with 3 of them. And I hope that potentially that won't happen, but it might, and my best bet's that it will happen. I do think it will happen, and there's no denying that I think it will happen. I would also say is that potentially we've had 3 films of these now. We've had the Doctor Strange movie, we've had Deadpool and Wolverine, and we've had Spider-Man No Way Home. They've all been multiverse stories. It might get tiring now. Spider-Man 4 being a multiverse flick might be boring because we've got 4 of these now, and potentially 2 of these movies, both Spider-Man movies, might be the same thing. Both Spider-Mans, we get all 3 of them back again. It might get tiring, it might not feel the same. Doctor Strange wasn't really as good as people were expecting, and Deadpool and Wolverine was very good. But yes, that's my take on it. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can here, and if you'd like to watch another video, you can here. And yes, that's it. Thank you for watching, and bye.